Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to this conversation. 1 year ago, this dream was born, and it's our first anniversary of this table conversation. So it's good to be back again. Anybody was here for the first one last day, October? Except me? Because I know I see some familiar faces here, Marina. Some familiar faces. So this is our anniversary, and as anything else, it's always some challenges to keep a dream alive. But if we know who the founder of this is, you know she does not give up. So I'm so pleased that we are here 1 year later for another table conversation and another important topic. And today the topic is developing minds and changing lives. And so we will all agree that's an important topic, especially in our today Barbados. There's a lot of conversation going on about what is happening in our society, what is happening in our young people. The focus in this ministry is about developing young ladies as daughters of destiny. And what does it take, or will it take, to move people to a place of high productivity? And very important, we know there will be a correlation between the mind and the output of one's life. So we're going to take the next few minutes, an hour or so, and explore the topic with our panelists. And you will notice when I introduce them to you, they are very versed to speak on this topic. And a little later, I will even engage you, some of you, because I know you have a lot to say on the topic, and you are something that you'll be interested in as we move our people, our families, and our society forward. So it's my pleasure this morning to welcome all of you and to welcome our distinguished panelists. And to my immediate left, we have Apostle Maggie Griffith. She's a pastor and also an author. Let's welcome Apostle. And to her left is, let me see, I'm trying to memorize, Marilyn Paton Robinson. And she shared the panel table with me, I think, in our second conversation. So welcome to Ms. Marilyn Paton Robinson. And to my immediate right, we have Dr. Sharon Moore, who is a minister and also an author. We will hear a little bit of her sharing what she authors. We would like to ask her that as well. I'm sure it is something that we will find helpful. And then we have Ms. Marilyn Taitt, Marina Taitt, from the BIDC. She's the director of the BIDC. This is Barbados Investment Development Corporation in the Export and Business Development Department. So welcome to all our panelists. Give them a big hand. So for some time now, I've heard this statement. It says the mind is a terrible thing to waste. For those of us who would have looked at TV or over the years, we've seen it on BT, we see it among the blacks in the US, and that slogan has been powerful to blacks in the United States, and indeed many people, that the mind is a terrible thing to waste. And I always wondered why they said it's a terrible thing, because I think it's too important. I say it's too important to waste. Because I know why they said so, because they were asking people, the blacks especially, be careful not to allow the prejudices of the past to impact them, but to think for yourself and know that you can be better than what people think you are or what they say you are. So my thing is that the mind is too important to waste. Amen? You can know that I'm in church. and of course, and St. Paul tells us in Romans 12, do not be conformed by the world, but to transformed by the renewal of the mind. So we see there is a correlation. So we're going to explore that a little bit. And I'm just going to throw it out. I'm not going to point to anybody. So for a few minutes, all our panelists, just talk a little bit about the correlation of the mind and what we see in terms of the output of one's life.
From birth, where it's formative, we have the connection to the family, the mother sucking on the breast, and that kind of make that connection. And then, as we go around the family units and so on, so it's something that we have to nurture along with.
From very early, very early. It says the first 5 years of a child's life is the most active in terms of its development. That is why we have to pay attention as parents in what we do and how we bring up a child, especially those formative years. Character is formed even from those early periods.
Yes.
And Apostle Maggie is also an educator. So we have good authority here to speak on that subject. She has been involved in years in changing and shaping minds.
Yes, 36 years.
36 years. Give her another hand for that. Amen. 36 years.
Yes, and we as mental beings, we have thoughts, we have wants, we have motives, and we have feelings, and these are shaped by our interaction with our parents, where we were. We heard about the first 5 years and what it can do. And even by 4 years, you know, you're in a place where you can make decisions and you can think, you know, the difference between right and wrong. And it has a lot to do with the upbringing and the interaction. And we have to be careful with whom we release our children, you know, to interact. The kind of schools that they're sent to, the kind of churches, there must be some sort of research done before releasing your children to a place where their minds can be shaped, their minds can be developed. So in the church, in the school, the type of peers that they have, the ones that they interact with, we must be careful that the right thing in causing them to be in a place where they can receive positively and where they can make the right decisions in life for future.
She spoke of the environment that we expose our children to. That's key in shaping their minds. And that is so powerful. You want to speak to the environment?
I would add to that. In addition, the mind is, what form it is in the mind could be conscious or subconscious. Because many times we do not even understand even things, like even a child, the things that might be said, they may not be, they will keep in their minds, you know, don't mix with other people, or you're bad and nothing good is going to come out of you and all of that. So sometimes these things might be subconsciously ingrained. So the mind is more or less an abstract concept. People have different understandings of what the mind is, but so many things form our mindsets and our belief systems, and therefore it's very important that we, even sometimes we get to a certain age, we might have learned some things from a child, but as we grow, we still have to be careful in terms of how we allow things to come into our minds.
It truly can be developed.
It can be developed.
Definitely. My colleagues, we've all spoken about how a child is socialized, basically.
Yes.
And what I've always observed, there's no difference between a child who goes to Harrison's College and one who goes to one of the schools where you don't have to earn a high score on the common entrance. What makes the big difference is the environment.
Yes.
Big time.
Yes.
Because when you look at it, the child who doesn't score very well on the common entrance, there's nothing wrong with their brain, there's nothing wrong with them physically. It is what goes on in their environment, how they're socialized, how they're taught. If you bring home a pencil, you can't just bring it home. Where do you get it from? Because when you start to question a child, then they have to start to think, they have to be honest about everything. Where did I get it from? Did I just take it up? Did I ask what you want to? So basically, you from a very early age as a parent or an adult in the environment of the children, you create that mindset. You create that mindset for excellence, good standards. You create a mindset for mediocrity, you know, whatever goes. So it's very important to understand the importance of creating the proper mindset, and it has an overall effect on the national development of the country, not only the home, the country as a whole. Because if you want to go to work, okay, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to chill, no productivity. If you understand, I have to go in and earn my money. You know, I have to do what I have to do. That's important. Even this, I'm not really talking about myself, but this week, one of my colleagues said to me, Marina, you work like a horse. At first I felt, I don't know, there's something wrong with me. But I do enjoy work and I enjoy my job. I enjoy seeing results. I enjoy the particulars. But I instill these things in my children. And I get my staff to understand it's important to have high standards. You know, so it's all about the mind.
It's all about the mind, because every day we have to make choices in life. And choices are guided by the kind of decisions that we make. And the decisions that we make are guided by the thoughts that we think. The choices don't just happen. They go through a process. And it starts in the mind. So it means the mind is key and the mind is essential to the choices that we make in life. So it means that we really have to guard our mind in what we allow to come into it. And when you look at a lot of successful people in life, most of them will tell you of the transitions they've had to make and the changes they have to make. Many people would speak of the kind of life they live, younger, reckless, doing stuff that you know that was not wholesome in society. And some of them say, I have become this because I've had a change happen in my mind. Mindset change. So we'll be exploring this topic today because we know it is important for our children and your children, your grandchildren, your neighbors' children, society as a whole. We have some problems in our society and we can't run away from it. We can't hide from it because it will come and attack us in our homes. So what can we do to help change our society so that people can live different lives and we will not become faithful of our own very neighbor? What can we do? Because I think we each have a responsibility. We're having problems in the workplaces. We're having problems in the school. Sometimes the churches and the ministers having real problems with the people because of the mind and how they think and what goes through their mind. And culture, and somebody spoke about that, where you are brought up, your country, all of those things have input and in shaping the mind. And so, and people get separated sometimes. I think it's Marina, you spoke about, or you do the school you go to, and people, it's like a stamp on you. What is your output? So sometimes people are baffled when they see the success of certain people. Say, where did you go to school? I find in this society people ask, where did you go to school? In a kind of like, oh, and then it's like, oh, you went to school there? Oh, you went to school there. You see the change on their faces because you're pigeonholed, you're put into categories, you're put labels on you. So that is why we have to surprise people in terms of what we do and how we live and their successes. So we must go against the norms of society, and we can by the renewing of our mind. As I said, Apostle Maggie has been an educator for years, and she would have seen some of the challenges of kids and how she's had to help them, not just with their academics, but to help them with their thinking and their reasoning and the self-worth and the self-esteem, because those are the keys to success in life.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, there would have been much input. The thoughts that individuals will have will shape their lives, and we know that out of the abundance of our hearts, the abundance of our thinking, then we speak. And then as we will speak, we will see manifestations in our lives. We will see our characters changing. So we have to be aware of what is injected into an individual. An injection that will make a difference, an injection that will bring positive changes in the lives of individuals. Many children would have needed that injection to see that difference, to understand where they are and where they're going, right? And they need to be prepared for the future. And so the foundation of it is in the thoughts the thinking, the kind of decisions, the motives that they have behind what they're doing, right? So they must be guided in this way. And sometimes experiences as well will bring it to that place of change and bring individuals to change, you know, because this is one of the things that will be used in developing our minds, the different experiences that we have that we can learn from. Yes.
And not only experiences, because sometimes you don't necessarily want to learn from our own experiences. You want to learn from the experiences of others. That's the problem that we make. Sometimes there's nothing new under the sun.
Right.
Sometimes even when you speak to the younger persons, they may want to say, okay, that's what you went through, but I've got to find out for myself.
Yes.
According to research, though, there are 3 different types of minds. It could be the mind that is more or less rigid, which means that you're willing to change. These might be passed on, because as we said before, who we are is not necessarily who you see us standing here. We have backgrounds and we have belief systems that would be formed from the time we were children, and we have different cultures that we came from. So all of these things impact on us. So obviously it's said that many times, sometimes if you have a rigid mentality, that may be passed down from, you know, your parents or something, and sometimes you maintain that, and then there's the ability not to change because you're so set in your ways.
Yeah.
And then there's the fluid mind, which means that anything is so fluid, anything passes through it, so you don't have the ability to think for yourself. So whoever, as a person says, the cat is up the road, you go up there, there's something else happening down the road, you're willing, you know, whatever is happening. So that's the fluid mind that just anything passes through that. So that's where the mind that is rigid can form the habits within the one that is fluid, because they can't think for themselves. So you don't know where you're going or what your role is, so I'll tell you, so you go to that. But then there's the flexible mind, and I find that we need to be flexible, not necessarily moving to and from whatever is happening, but have the ability to think, to analyze for yourself, so that you can make a decision that's going to make a difference. And I think we all know the story of the lady who with the mother had always baked the turkey with the eggs cut off. And she did until she came out, she did the same thing. One day her daughter was watching her and said, well, Mom, why do you do that? Her mom is in a hurry, she wouldn't give the answer. She said, ask your grandmother. The grandmother didn't know, so she said, ask the great-grandmother, only to find that the pan was too small at the time. So many times, we go through like just adapting and not actually analyzing it for ourselves.
Yes, and also the role of the parents. There are times when parents would tell, you know, the child, don't do this, or don't do this, or that. You know, in terms of relationships, forming relationships with the opposite sex and so on. And they say, but you didn't do that. You ended up pregnant with me. And it is just that the parent may not want the child to experience what they had. They learned from their own mistakes, and now the children should learn from theirs. And this is why it's good even to give experiences that they can know, well, this is how we bypass this. We don't do it this way or that way. So parents will stand and use that role in shaping the lives and the minds of the children.
And not be afraid as parents to give information.
Yes.
And to share real experiences. My mom was 90 a couple weeks ago, and I heard some stuff from my mom the eve of her 90th birthday that I had never heard in all her life. And I think if she had shared those stuff with me or us, we probably would have made different decisions. They warn you. They give you very stern warnings. Don't do this, don't do that.
I don't tell you
And they share why. And you know we have inquisitive children. They will not just take what you say. They will go and explore it for themselves. But why? Because we don't know how to give information. And trust me, it's the information that really helps to shape the mind.
Yes.
And people will gravitate to wherever they could get some sort of information that will make them feel comfortable, even if they might be doing something wrong. That's why young people following in packs and in gangs. They identify with what is happening there. They have been validated, they're getting good information. It's bad for them, but they feel comfortable in that space. Very comfortable and loved in that space. Our parents might say, don't do that, and I love you, but never knew how to express it. Never knew. Because they never knew, received what real love was. So they found it however they found it. And so the children are doing the same. But I believe that's where leadership is so important in shaping minds and shaping lives. I once read something saying that people are like sheep, not sheepish, they like to be led. That's why leaders are important. You lead in your workplace, you have adults that you have to deal with every day that you have to help transition, shift, move, give information so they could become better people, don't you?
Yes. And as Napoleon Hill says, as a man thinketh, so is he.
Yes.
So when you don't think, this particular way, and you don't focus on how you're supposed to be thinking, then you shift and you go anywhere. And this coming up as a young person, especially our young ladies who we're trying to influence here now, is that they need to pull themselves with persons who can help to shape their minds. If they find that they're going a different way, get the mindset to say, well, this is not right for me, and I need to shift in some other direction.
Definitely.
But I think also it's not only showing a bit, because sometimes we tell them what to do, but they look at the lifestyle. So we're saying do one thing, but you're doing something else. I think that's today people want to know, okay, but you're saying that, but you're not doing it. So you must live, but not only talk it, but must also walk the walk.
That's true. That's true.
And yes, there must be the right injections in moving from that rigid mindset as well. The right information going forth to the children to make the right decisions is moving from a place of just receiving and acting, making decisions. There are some decisions that must be made. You need to come from that place of rigidity. So there must be a place of teaching how to move from, the place of just information then to come to a place of the decision making, right? You're learning and you must be taught how to make the decisions. And not just to do something because somebody has done it. You need to know why you're doing it, rather than we heard about this syndrome of dealing with why the ham was cut in a certain way, right? Information needs to be received, to go to that place of decision making.
And to add to that too, we have to look at behavioral modification.
Yes.
Very often parents believe if you want a child to change or behave a certain way, you get a bit, you beat them, you throw things at them, you curse at them, and so forth. What you have to pay attention to is, as we said before, displaying love for your child, and also rewarding them by using the correct words, praise them, hug them. And you'll find as you continue to focus on the good that they're doing, they'll start to behave the way you want them to behave. So it's very important how we react to our children and what we give to them. We want to teach them about love and respect, and we have to display that toward them as well, so that they can display toward others. So, it is all about how we react to each other, how we teach our children, and also remind them of the purpose of them being here, the purpose in life. When they start to, oh, mommy, I don't feel like going to school. Remind them of the purpose. Why are you going to school? How are you going to benefit down the road from going to school? I know I've experienced that with children. You talk, and that's the thing. You got to talk a lot. Talk. Spend that time talking with the children, not watching TV, or on social media. You have to spend time talking with your children if you want to really work on shaping their minds.
And not talk on the social media. In one bedroom and you're talking from another bedroom. These societal things, these are changing. Culture and exposure is really, really important. And some children, talking children, have to be very tough and have to be very brave and have to be very affirmed at times to make shifts and changes in their lives. Because especially kids in school, they want to be part of the group. And they don't want to be isolated. And so sometimes they do things just to fit in. But And the fitting in is not always good for them. Because identifying with that kind of culture will not bring them to the place where society will see them as wholesome and productive. So that is why we have mentors and ministers and pastors and teachers and good leaders in the workplace who don't just see them as just somebody to just produce for them and give them the bottom line in the workplace, but see them as human beings, and they must value them first. And I always know when I work in corporate, when you show people that you're interested in them as a person, they did their best.
Yes.
When you show children in school that you're interested in them, in the development, that you value them, those children turn around. And that is how we can get the minds to turn around, by us showing that you are important, that you are a human being, I value you. Because if you, as a teacher, you're not showing that you care for those children beyond producing their work or the exercise, sometimes kids just act up for attention. They're begging, they're crying out for some attention. Sometimes even in the workplace, adults do the same thing. Because we are a broken people, we need some help. We need some help. That's why I said leaders are very important in shaping and helping people to transition into a place where they are better off. Right? Doctor?
Totally agree. And they will go where they're celebrating.
Yes, sir.
So we have to make sure that we are the ones that will gear them in the correct direction. Obviously, something is not always going to be accepted, but we must still make sure that we do what we can and use our experiences to help to shape those minds. We normally say that the children are our future, but they're our present as well, because what they become today will determine who they become tomorrow.
Yes.
So it's very important that we get to shape those lives from a very early stage. As we go back and we said, the mind is abstract, so it's your belief system. What are the belief systems that we inculcate into our children? And the wider society, because sometimes we only focus on our own children. But what about the neighbors' children? Because don't forget, they're not in the world of isolation. They go into schools, they go into different atmospheres. So if you're only focusing on our own children, then they're going to mix with everybody else. So we have to be very careful not to be selfish in our approach, but to love genuinely and make them know that they're cared for and they're accepted.
Yes, and work must be placed on positively transforming lives of every connection around you. Wherever you can transform a life, this is where we should be. Work must be placed on this.
I'm going to take an input from the audience, because this is a key subject. I see some people nodding and shaking their head. Yes, I agree with that. Yes, I agree with that. Yes, you agree with that. Anything input to say? Yes, I agree with that. Let's make a little input about how we see the mind is in terms of shaping the text of what they become.
I'm really enjoying the topic, because when we look at the young people today, we find that most people criticize, oh, why this body shooting this body and the next thing. But we need to demonstrate by showing love. Even at school, somebody can hear parents turn back to school and they're confused what is happening with each other. Why is my child not performing? But as one of the people say, we just want to their attention. We just want to help them and say, I know you can do it. Or they seem to be a little easier. I didn't know I can make something good for her. And when they demonstrate this love, I guess then we see a change in the child's.
It's not very easy getting people to change sometimes. So if you're dealing with children that are having difficulty, then sometimes we employ help. Sometimes you have to go to a therapist, sometimes you have to go to a pastor, because sometimes parents just throw up their hands, they can't deal with it no more. It is just too much. They have no idea what to do, they try everything. But one thing we must always say in terms of message, never lose hope. Never lose hope for our children, our siblings, our society. Never send people the message that is all over for you. It is never over. and people can change.
Yes.
You want to have something to say about that? People can change.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm quite enjoying the discussion. I just want to share two things. Marina spoke about speaking often to your children. I talked to my daughter, she's going to be 10 on the 12th of November. I talked to Mackenzie about just about everything. I remember I had a habit of buying candy to fat every Friday and Saturday. And then the first weekend that I couldn't do it, she's like, well, you always have money, so how come we don't have money today? So from then, I started explaining to Mackenzie, we have rent to pay, mommy pays rent, mommy pays our insurances, mommy puts gas in the car, groceries, martial arts, everything. And when I broke it down, now she comes to me and she says, Mom, I want sewing, so I'll wait until you get paid, and only if you have the money. Sometimes I was in people's mark. I need to mind my business sometimes, but I was in people's mark. And these three girls, they had to be no more than 15, were standing next to me having this conversation about when they finish school, they want to work at the gas station because they want to go partying and they want to do these things. And I'm like, you guys want to work at the gas station? They were like, yeah. And I said, sweetheart, my shoes cost more than they get paid. You need to aspire more. You live in a board house. You want to build over the house for your mom or something like that. And we started to have a conversation, and I hope from that conversation, their mindset was changed.
You have to challenge people that they can do better, right? It's progression in life. It doesn't matter where you start, but it's where you will end. Amen? Scripture said, despise not humble as small beginnings, but it's an encouragement of people to do better, push themselves.
Good morning. I find this, the conscious mind, we learn from reading, maybe watching a program on the television, listening to motivational speakers. But even though we get the information, our subconscious mind, it don't really kick in at the same time. And with the subconscious mind, it is a repetition thing. You have to keep repeating it. You have to, a habitual thing, so that the mind, then the subconscious mind will pick it up. I might find the body can heal itself and maybe change the reality of what we see or how things look. Then the body will come in London and it will change itself eventually. Let's say like cancer. Let's say the doctor say you have cancer. Yes. But then if you get a program where you play every day, to promise I am healthy, my body is strong, and keep listening to it daily, eventually you'll find that sickness, whatever it will just be your body.
So the power of the mind?
Yes.
Power of the mind.
Good morning, everyone. And there are a number of things that I want to say, but I'm going to try to just
Make it short.
speak very short. I do believe that the shaping of the mind, Minister Maggie, you can correct me because I know you're a deliverance minister as well, but I believe that being in the womb, something is contributed there based on the type of person that mother is. Right? Based on the things she may say, based on her attitudes, I believe that it starts from the womb. Because we know that words create. This whole earth was created by words.
Yes.
And he said, let there be. There were words. So I believe that words can shape destinies. It can, help to form minds, that kind of thing. So that is my contribution. I do believe it starts from the womb. So as a parent, as a mother, I believe that you have to be careful with the things you say, your attitudes, because there's a saying that says the apple doesn't fall very far from the tree, and there's a reason why that was said, right? Because you will find that a child is like its parent. So if you want a decent child, you have to be decent.
Good morning to the panel, ladies and gentlemen. Just as what these two young ladies said, repetition is definitely key because as a young person, my mother, my mom, I can recall things that she would have told me over and over. Yesterday, I was in class, or let her propose a scenario. And first thought that came to my mind was something my mother said. And I gave that answer, and the lecturer was like, yes, that's what this old lady said. This is so true. And we have to look at children like farming. You do not get an apple by just putting it there. You have to put it in the ground, you have to work hard, and then you will yield those results. And we need to realize that whatever we say to people, it does make a difference. Plants, for example, will show that if you play rock music, they would react to that negative music and they would eventually die. But if you play positive music, you will see that they will grow and they will bloom. So human beings are somewhat like that, if you make that analogy. Thank you.
Successful lives makes a successful society. We are not living in isolation, we are living in a community, we are living in a society. It is all our responsibility to help where we can help, especially when you see children around, they haven't got anybody really taken care of. You see the patterns of their life, and you can help to turn around. Do not turn a blind eye. I'm encouraging all of us. You're here because you're interested in the topic, you're interested in this conversation. It's a bigger conversation, and it's one that must be ongoing, because we all need help. I'm going to ask the panelists just to say a closing statement as we bring this conversation to a close. Dr. Sharon?
I would say that failure is not final. It doesn't matter where you are in life.
Say that again.
Failure is not final. Wherever you are in life, whatever mistakes you would have made, however you are where you are because of what you did or what someone did to you, you can change. You can change your mindset. You can associate if you don't know how to. We have so much information that's available to us today. We are not the first to have come to this point. Others before us have done some things. Let's just go back. Let's educate ourselves. Let's try to read some books. Let's socialize with the right people. But wherever you are in life, you can change and make a difference.
Great. I like that. Everybody can say it. Failure is not final. Let me hear it again. Failure is not final. And you need to say that to children whose lives are slipping. Failure is not final. It means we can pick ourselves up and go again. Even adults.
Well, for me, I will say it is about what's inside of you. It's not what you have externally, it's the kind of person you are. And the emotions that you hold on to, what you think of on a daily basis, will make you into a great person. So that's something that we have to make sure that we instill in our children, even ourselves, because as adults, sometimes we tend to forget. Also, make sure that you work on having those positive emotions and that you respect others around you. I like what Karen said when she said that she normally would mind her business. We have to start minding those children's business. When we see them doing something wrong, take the time and speak with them. You don't have to shout and whatever, but speak with them. Don't walk past and say, oh, let me my children and then do that. You have to have something to do with them, or you know what will happen? You will wake up in your house one night and that same child you passed 2 years ago, is there with a gun or whatever. You have to raise this, they say, it takes a village to raise a child. Remember that. I think you're forgetting that. Thank you.
I would like to agree with you what you just said, but I also want to let our young people know that the older persons, as they grew up, you might not have come from a wealthy family, but little by little they're like the hawker, this person sells sweets, whatever, and they've developed themselves. And since I'm here representing Sagicor, I would like to say that we have a series that has just been launched, that you can start with savings of 10, 15, 20, 25 years of investment, as well as 60, 70. And you work on that. So you do the development financially, and little by little, you invest in yourself and believe in yourself, Because as young people, don't just go by the wayside and say, oh, look, I can't do this. Do not doubt yourself. Just tell yourself that you're beautiful, you can be positive, and just follow your dreams. And mindset matters.
Yes, and I know that we have greatness inside of us. And we have learned from experiences, our experiences and experiences of others. And we have been put here to be fruitful and to multiply. And that whenever we come into contact with individuals, we should be able to pour into them, to cause their minds to be transformed for business, for wherever it is, whatever we have inside of us, we should share it. We should see lives empowered and bring them to a place of transformation and see the lives change.
So we wrap up, and we want to thank our panelists again, Apostle Maggie Griffith, Mrs. Marilyn Paton Robinson, Ms. Marina Taitt, and Dr. Sharon Moore. We want to thank all of you for coming here, and remember, the mind is too powerful to waste.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen?
Amen.
Too powerful to waste. Let us use it in the way God intended for us to use it. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
I would like to wish all our daughters of destiny great success in your school life, whatever you're doing, and just stay focused and believe in yourself. You can do it. Don't let anybody tell you can't.
Thank you.
You're welcome.